Fish Gang? Welcome back to Monster Fish Only, aka Mofo Fish, where we talk about monster fish and monster tanks. I'm your host, OGP, and today we're talking about the SEVERUM. Yeah, that's right, the SEVERUM. DJ, run the intro.
DJ Kid, this a hit for sure.
Caught some fishes out the pond and I put them in a box. Mix that old sponge with that new one when them filters out the box. Got some monsters in that glass, boy, they really down the box. Said I'm messed up in the head, cause I really like to watch. Yeah, I put them in a box. Mix that old sponge with that new one when the filters out the box. Got some monsters in that glass, boy, they really down the box. Said I'm messed up in the head, cause I really like to watch.
And before we get started, if you haven't already, hit the Mofo like button, hit the Mofo subscribe button, get in the Mofo comment section so we can get this content out to more crazy fish keepers like you. So stay tuned to the end. I've got a special treat for you. I'm going to play you a song, a homemade song about fish on my guitar. Let's get it. So let's dive in. SEVERUMs, also known as the banded cichlids, are popular freshwater fish among hobbyists for their striking appearance, peaceful demeanors, and ease of care. They make an excellent addition to the community aquarium with other similarly sized and temperamented fish. This is true. So in general, SEVERUMs are pretty chill. I have a few of them downstairs in my 125, and I've kept a few different variants of them, and they are laid back for the most part. Now there has been a couple that I've seen, going into various mom and pop LFS type stores where they have, a sign on it that says, hey, warning aggressive, and they can be a little bit temperamental. They still are cichlids at the end of the day. But for the most part, they are pretty chill, pretty laid back, type of cichlids. So they are native to the Amazon basin in South America. SEVERUMs thrive in slow-moving, densely vegetated rivers and tributaries. They prefer warm, slightly acidic water with plenty of hiding places. Those are all facts. The ones that I have downstairs are, pretty picky about where they like to hang out. I have a big piece of wood down there, and they hang out, primarily underneath there and around there, and they feel a lot more comfortable. You can just tell by their colors and everything when they're underneath the wood or they're swimming around the wood. They're just a lot, darker and have a lot more, fuller colors, so they look a lot more at rest and at peace. But if the other fish just kind of pick at them a little bit, they'll usually just back down and just kind of go hang out somewhere else. Some of them might get a little snippy. Again, they are cichlids, so they do have a little bit of that aggressive, nature, but they're not really gonna be anything near the top of the spectrum. So, freebie water sprite. That's this big plant right here. Might get some close-ups on that for y'all, but pretty much it grows like weeds, and it's an extremely available plant, and it's really dense and it's really easy to grow. It's pretty hardy too, so you can throw some of that in there, a couple bundles of it, and it's gonna be a forever type of plant. Basically, the way that water sprite works is it grows out of the roots, and then there's like a second patch that it kind of stems from again. And when it stems from that again, that can be used as a whole entire separate plant, and it literally just separates. You just pull it apart and it separates. So it's like a glitch in the plant world. You can have forever, like literally forever plants, and you can see both the aquariums behind me. Those all came from one plant. I had one water sprite plant, and it just will not stop growing. So just a quick description. SEVERUMs have laterally composed and oval-shaped bodies with striking colors and patterns. They can grow up to 8 inches in length, so that's important, and are available in various colors, including gold, green, and red. The internet, even this article that I'm going to post down in the description, is going to tell you that a 55 is okay. It is. You can get away with that. I wouldn't do any more than like 3 within a 55. The tank that is behind me here is a 55 gallon, and as you can see, sure, it's a decent sized aquarium, but it may not be the best available. You know, if it is the best available and this is like, you know, hey, I really like this fish, this is what I want, cool, no problem. Get you a 55, but make sure you get you a nice big powerful filter. Put plenty of plants in there so that way they're eating up those nitrates, and you know, give it a decent life. I wouldn't start anything less than 75. 55 would be cool to grow them out, but once they become adults and they're about those 8 inches, you know, you really want that space. Bigger tanks with sandy bottoms, always going to be the best plan of action. As far as color waves go, there's a whole bunch of different species that you're going to be able to find. I'm not going to go into all of them because there's just a ton of them, but some of the clips and stuff that I'm going to be playing here are going to be showing you a couple of the different variations and a couple of different colors that they have available. So as far as tank mates are concerned, you know, if you want to live in a perfect world, you want to do nothing but peaceful species with it. Again, this hobby is about wanting to collect species, so I understand that not everybody has the budget to have, you know, 20 tanks for 20 different species. Some of us do, some of us don't. So if you're going to keep this fish, and this fish is really in your heart, I would say just stick with more peaceful cichlids, and that's going to look like, you know, your medium-sized grown fish like your acoras, and, you know, maybe like some rams, you know, dither fish like your red hooks and tinfoil barbs, stuff like that. In my tank, I do have a red devil. The red devil is, for the most part, pretty chill. He does have moments where he will just say, you know what, F everybody in this tank, I'm gonna do it my way today. Sticking to the topic of this video, you can probably get away with some of the more aggressive species because this fish probably is not going to want to stand its ground. But again, all fish are different, all fish have personalities, so it's going to be a little bit of a risk. If I was starting this tank and I was just specifically only wanting to keep Severums, and that's going to be my show fish, I would just have nothing but peaceful fish in there, and you can have a beautiful tank that way. A lot of these articles are going to tell you stuff about, you know, pH and hardness of the water. They're going to say anywhere between 6 and 7.5 as far as your pH is concerned. Don't go chasing pH numbers. I tell people that all the time. Do not go screwing around with your pH. Whatever comes out of your water, and you need to just get them acclimated to that and keep it that way. Whatever it is, keep it that way. Temperature is concerned, you know, my magic number for all my tanks has always been 74. I found that anytime that the temperature goes up beyond, you know, about 78, that's when all my fish get real snippy. So you're going to get some brighter colors, you're going to get some more of that dominant behavior, but at the same time you're going to get a lot more fighting. You don't want a bunch of hot males inside of a room acting a fool. You got to remember, this is a closed environment, and that environment is pretty much indicative upon what you put in and what you take out. As far as their feeding is concerned, they are omnivores, they are opportunistic eaters, but they do prefer more of a herbivore type of a diet. So if you have some of this stuff and you just kind of crunch it up, because they got tiny little mouths, so you just kind of break this up into some pieces and throw that in there, they will love you forever. People like to talk about breeding behaviors. Pretty much all cichlids breeding behaviors are very, 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 very similar. You know, you crank the heat up, you dim the lights, you throw on some berry white. That's the secret, in case you didn't know. You throw on some berry white, and they will eventually pair off and, you know, find a flat rock, lay some eggs, and they'll do their little dance, and boom, you will have some, you know, free floating fry very soon. So as far as like maintaining health and disease prevention, this is all general information that is good for all fish species. This is good for everything. You want to maintain stable water parameters, do your regular water changes, and have big old filters. Those things are synonymous across the aquarium hobby. What has been keeping my tanks running for years with very, 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 very little problems is Prime. Prime is the Arnold Schwarzenegger of aquarium chemicals. This is it. Aquarium Prime! It's prime time! You want to use Prime? Okay, enough of that. So, just a couple final thoughts on the fish in the hobby. Severums can be a little bit territorial, especially when the temperature's up a little bit, so you have to monitor who you have them with and what you got going on. You do want to regularly test your water parameters, make the necessary adjustments to maintain a healthy environment, and last, you want to offer them a variety style of a diet. You don't want to just feed them one thing every day. You kind of want to mix and stuff. But again, those are all things for general aquarium, hobby. That's general aquarium hobby information. So GHI. We're going to start calling that GHI. General hobby information. That's all I got for you. If you haven't already, hit the mofo like button. Hit the mofo subscribe button. Get in the mofo comment section so we can get this content out to more crazy fish people like you. I'm out the tank. Thanks for watching. Peace. Join the fish gang. Join the fish gang. Join the fish gang. Join the fish gang. Please, need subscribers. Need some comments. Need subscribers. And some likes. Join the fish gang. Join the fish gang. Join the fish gang. And get a fish tank.